Jupiter and Saturn in your sign. Welcome to 2021, Aquarius. You are the first reading for this new year. So, Jupiter gets you leaping somewhere. Go with it. Go with it. Allow Saturn in your sign to maneuver your landing. The leap was Jupiter. The landing was Saturn. Leap with excitement, with hope, with expansion. Land with responsibility, with groundedness, using everything you've learned in the past couple of years. You will reach space if you'll do that, Aquarius, seriously. But if you will resist the leapings and I don't want to say disrespect, but look down at the landings, if that makes any sense. Think you have it in your pocket. Think you should do it the way you've always been doing it. January for Aquarius, 2021. Happy New Year, my loves. Thank you, Seeker, for joining me here. My name is Morgane. This is the Existential Shift, in case you're new. And this is for you. It felt fitting. It's seemingly messy, but it somehow makes sense. You're so gorgeous. And in a aloof way of, oh, I'm just here reading a book about quantum physics, planning space travel, texting Elon Musk about new ideas, and then he's taking away all my credit. I don't care. I'm okay with it. All right, okay. You sure you're okay with it? Land like Saturn, right? If that means breaking people's bones or taking your thoughts from you, Queen of Swords, this is you, entering the year like a boss. You know, waving the sword. Look at her. It's my Jupiter return. My Jupiter is in Aquarius. Fitting. I am very excited. I know how to leap, and I know how to land. And my ideas and my visions are going to expand. If anybody tries to take them away from me, I'll just grab my sword right here. Excuse me, thank you, okay. Oh, you can't see it? It's just, it vibrates on a different frequency. You just can't tap into it, sorry. For the cross watchers, for Aquarians. But what is going on with my Aquarius? You know, they're leaping with Jupiter, they're landing with Saturn. I can't help you. I'm here to help Aquarius this time. I know, I'm sorry. Usually I'm more than happy to help cross watchers. You know, if I'll use what I see about Aquarius to give, you know, give tricks to their cross watchers on how to handle them, they'll get upset with me, and I don't want them to get upset with me. Back to you, Aquarius. Cross watchers, you can watch, of course, because it's going to be interesting, and maybe it will teach you a thing or two on the Aquarian mind that works like electricity. Aquarius, what happens to electricity that doesn't have a conduit or something to transfer it, it just zaps in the air. That's what happens to you when you're not grounded and when you don't have a structure to guide you or to be guided by, you know, structure to break, a matrix to maneuver through. You hate these things, and yet you rely on these things inherently for a reason. Don't fight it, embrace it. Again, don't let Jupiter and Saturn battle one another inside of you. Let them work together. Page of Wands. What an adventure of the mind and of the feet. The feet, not defeat. Of the mind and of the feet. This month for you. Something based on ideas, on faith, on some sort of ideology perhaps, on values. You are taking your ideas and your values out into the field. Leading by example as you discover it yourself. Taking one step at a time, and people will follow one step at a time. They're okay with you not knowing exactly what comes next in the next 10 steps. You understand it's a whole new world. Because you understand it's a whole new world. And the electricity in your brain somehow transferred to the electricity within their brain. Why? Because you set the foundation right. Because you build the infrastructure. Genius needs infrastructure to break out of. It needs it. Six of Swords. So you might be traveling or on the go or simply taking a break from the life as you know it. Allowing yourself to kind of let the adventure lead you. But this is not an aimless wandering. This is not a drifter wandering. This is, the seeker's journey. You seek, but it's not lost. It's not confused. It's, guided by something. Guided by Jupiter, built by Saturn. I know I keep repeating this. It's so crucial this month. It is. It will set the tone, not just for the next year, but for the next decade. Eight of Swords. Be careful of being tempted to be bound by your ideals. Remember, your ideals are about freedom, so if they create binding and not structure, structure and binding are not the same thing. If you think they are the same thing, you still need work. Be careful of being binded by your ideals, because your ideals are about freedom and expansion. And if you become rigid with them and stubborn with them and can't see outside of that box that you've created outside the box, see, it's just another box. Okay, so you took yourself out of the box, but then you've created another box. And now you won't leave that box, and people who followed you, you judge them if they leave that box, and so you've created another box for another Aquarius to break out and build another box. Stop building boxes. Step out of a matrix of some sort, create something new, and then allow it to have a life of its own, and then stay there or leave it as it makes sense. The only constant is change. You tend sometimes to break boxes, break out of boxes, shatter matrices, just to create other ones. Now, it's the point of it. We do live in a quantum world of quantity. We live in a quantum world of quantity. Things are quantified. Things are systematic. So it's almost inevitable for you to leap from one system to another. Just don't be locked in it, in your brain, thinking like, okay, this is the ultimate truth of everything from now until forever. No. For now. If you... Five of Pentacles. If you bump into a hazard, a landmine, a blockage, some of you might be tempted to stay there to help or to work with. This could be working with people who are in difficulty or in need. But remember, helping someone doesn't mean you need to become them. Helping the homeless doesn't mean becoming homeless. Helping the poor doesn't mean being poor. You don't need to be them to have empathy for them. You can reach into an experience that you've had in the past to express that empathy, or you can simply imagine. You're very creative. Or do what you can from your own point of view. It's not the time to lower yourself to the level of the people you are trying to help. Be it an actual volunteer work or in your own life, private life, relationship. Lowering yourself to a difficulty someone you're trying to help is going through isn't being modest, it's actually very patronizing. I don't look down at people, so I'm going to come to your level, sacrifice myself, and be where you are, because I don't want to patronize you. That's patronizing me. You think it's fun? You think it's romantic going through this? What the fuck is wrong with you? Excuse me, I'm sorry, right? Someone needs to say that sometimes to you. You have a romantic vision of what poverty and pain is. You do, it's in your subconscious. Don't start with me. Don't yell at me. Oh, you're unfriending me? Okay. Unsubscribing? Okay. Alright, okay. That's fine. You're the one who patronized me. People do not enjoy being hungry or poor or homeless or lost or defeated or having difficult hazards. And when you tell them, I'll come down to you and I'll be with you in that because I'm like that too, and they know you're not like that. They know you have a different circumstances, different life situation, different fortune perhaps, knock on wood, may you always have fortune. But if they know that about you and yet you say it, it sounds so mind-boggling arrogant. I'm sorry. This is not the time for me to go easy on you. Because if you think that's harsh, you don't know what Saturn is going to do when you start doing that bullshit. I'm really trying to catch you before you do that to Saturn, you know? It's like it's like you're trying to pull the trick with the nice, cute assistant teacher. And she's like, no, you don't want to do that with them. Don't Don't say that to me. So you're trying to pull it off with me? Okay. Wait until it reaches Saturn. So I'm saying this to you. I feel so bad for being so fortunate when others are in such a need. Don't say that to someone who's actually in need. Don't. Because they'll look at you and be like, you feel bad for having food in the fridge, for being warm and fuzzy and lucky, for having someone helping you or giving you when you need. You feel bad about it? I wouldn't feel bad. I wouldn't feel bad, and I wouldn't pretend to feel bad. That's fucking rude. That's rude. So rude. Okay, now if you survived this far, I know some of you have left. Those of you who have left at this point, this video, are the ones who are going to get it the hardest from Saturn. If you're here now, bravo. You might be opening to the fortune of Jupiter. You can't give when you don't have anything to give, or when you pretend that you don't have anything to give. I've met a person who's an Aquarius who considers themselves an orphan when both their parents are alive and one of them is super helpful to them. To me, as someone who her dad actually died, that's an insult. You're not making me relate with you when you refer to yourself as an orphan. When you're not an orphan, you make me want to break something on your head. Okay? Now, this is not me abusing my life circumstance to impose and project on you. This is me using my life to help you, because that's what I'm here to do. That's what the universe decided. That's what my higher soul decided. I don't know. That's the only thing I can take from. And I know it's not just that person. I know it's an Aquarian thing and it's shadowy side. And I know it's what's holding you back. I know the signs. I've known them from past lifetimes. I know the signs. I know their spirit. I know everything about them. I'm not like a professional astrologer that can analyze your chart to the T. There are people out there who are so much better than that than I am. But I can talk to you about you, boo. Oh, I can talk to you about you, boo. You are amazing. You are brilliant. Start using this brilliancy and whatever good you have going on in your life to sustain, maintain, and grow the abundance and help others without patronizing them, okay? Haha, Ace of Swords in the bottom of the deck, truth be told. Truth be told. Show me more for Aqua for January. Boom. Seven of Pentacles. See? It's way better than you thought it was. It's way better than you took yourself in your head towards. You have gains. You're just not sure what to do with them. Where to plant the seeds. Plant them in your earth that is abundant and that will allow it to grow. Invest in the things that can last and reap rewards. Don't waste your abundance with planting seeds in places where they won't grow just for the sake of telling yourself that you've been kind. To whatever dry land you're trying to plant a tree in. That's not nice to the tree. You're being kind to the dry land, but then you're abusing the tree. Your own abundance that wants to grow somewhere and prosper and have deliver fruit and live and maybe house some birds. I don't know. Why would you do that to the tree? Plant the abundance where it can grow free. Knight of Wands. There you are. Run like the wind, love. Liberate yourself from mental stagnation that is based on ego, that needs a title of some sort. The humanitarian, the giver, the philanthropist, whatever. You don't need any of these titles. No one cares today. I'm telling you, no one, everyone is so deep in their own anus. I'm sorry, I just have to say it. Things are so cray-cray. They are. The people who love you and are close to you, they know your value and your worth. You're gold. Absolute gold. The people who don't, they're so far off their own. It doesn't matter. January is this weird seesaw between movement and stagnation. And the stagnation will be a result of your decisions and doings. It's like January wants you to be on the go. And if there are blockages that hold you back and make you stuck, it's because you're not working with Saturn properly. When you work with Saturn properly, with the tough teacher, with the tough boss, with Saturn, you cooperate with the structure and build the infrastructure that will lead you where you want to go instead of just trying to bite it. Don't bite the wires that transfer your own electricity. Then you'll be free to run like the wind. Saturn will help you with that. It will be your engine and your gas and your wheels and your steering wheel. The Star. We have 2 cards to represent you. One in the minor arcana, the human aspect of you, and one in the major arcana, the soul aspect of you, the energy aspect of you. And you're taking your ideas to the next level, and they manifest in the universe, in the ether. So you feel it in your heart. You feel the joy of it, not just in your brain, but also in your heart. And it's so expanding, and it's so great. And there is also falling in love. Knight of Wands and the Star. It's like love at first sight, or something super passionate and super immediate. Some of you are feeling disappointed about someone you truly care about. And then you decide to go and be on the move and express yourself and show them, or try, or connect, or just allow yourself to feel the Hermit. But something is really making you feel like you're alone in this. Now, I didn't say you're alone in this. I said something makes you feel you're alone in this. The Hermit. Maybe you're debating between movement and wait, no, I need to think about it. Wow. 2 of Swords, the Tower, and the World. Saturn is really starring in this reading. Of course it is. Now, in ancient astrology, Saturn is your ruler. In modern astrology, it's Uranus. Now, some astrologers say that Saturn is coming into its original home sign and it feels belong, and some say, no, we thought Saturn was ruled by Aquarius when we didn't know Uranus, before we discovered Uranus, so we kind of forced it. You have that duality in you, okay? You have that freedom and expansion and wackiness of Uranus and rebellion and an aspect of Uranus with Saturn's strict rules, harsh teacher kind of vibe. Some of you take it there, some of you take it there, some of you balance it. Either way, Saturn is going to teach you this month and this year that you can't bypass it. Don't bypass rules and regulations. Don't try to, this isn't advice, to be smart with officials, governments, if you need paperwork, if you need permits, if you need anything, from the biggest things to the smallest things. Don't try to go around anything, because nothing will be, allowed to slide. Nothing. Things will be very, very strict. And small things that maybe you've learned that you can get away with in the past will not, and will backfire. This is the opportunity to show what you've learned for the past couple of years about the importance of structure and groundedness, and just do things right. Everything by the book. Some of you are focusing on healing others and healing the world, partly because you're wonderful, and partly also because you're kind of trying to avoid healing yourself. For those of you who do that, it will come up to the surface. So I would recommend focusing on the things that hurt for you, not for others, for you. Because when you help someone as helping yourself, you're not really helping them, you're just using them to escape yourself, and it kind of projects onto them, and then somehow the help becomes twisted. So first and foremost, address psychological childhood issues. Childhood, if I made you feel bad about expressing pain in the beginning, it's only the one that some of you fake. But you all naturally, like all humans, carry true pain and true trauma. I want you to address those as they are. Not more, not less. Just go there. Because if you won't, towards the last part of January, you'll have a psychological breakdown. For the sake of ascension, for the sake of freedom, but it will feel like crap. Okay? So go there on your own accord. Reach deep and deal with yourself. Look within. Look within. There's a lot of, self-observation here. And aha and an eureka. If you go there in your own accord, from your own, leading yourself there, it will be like aha. This tower will be like aha moments, and the world will be like resolution. But if you won't go there on your own accord, Saturn and Jupiter will push you there. Push you there. And then it will be the same result, but due to breakdowns. And I don't want you to go through breakdowns, because that will lead to feeling disappointment with yourself. And there's nothing for you to feel disappointed of. You're amazing. Okay? So let's try to avoid creating, more shame and sense of failure. Even if that happens, it's not because you failed. It's because it was too painful, so you just couldn't go there. It's okay. I'm just trying to get you to go there so it won't be more painful than it needs to be. Someone seems to not want to talk to you, and it's hurtful, and I'm sorry. They're going through their own aha moments and completions, and they just need it. It's not about you, it's about them and for them. Take that as an opportunity to do the same for yourself. Show me more for Aqua, please. Seven of Cups. I'm doing a bit of a longer reading because it's the New Year's and 2021 and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not done. I'll continue. I have an entire row to fill up. But after this, first of all, there's an extended to this that will focus on your love life. We will look into you and your person of interest, the dynamic, the detail, how things unfold. And we'll have a rune reading afterwards as well. It's a new spread. It's a big tarot spread. It's available below on Vimeo and on Patreon. This is the perfect time to join Patreon. Join the community of existential shifters. Support me on a regular basis and get extra VIP content. All the extendeds. Daily messages from the runes. Karmic Shift and Liberation. Oh my gosh, you want to watch Karmic Shift and Liberation at this time. Yep. Lord of Karma and you. Okay. And other fun stuff. Ooh, lunar spiritual psychic messages every new moon and full moon for my shifters, my tier number 3. Fun there. You can still find it separately, all the extendeds on Vimeo. Up to you, links below. Anyway, after we finish this and before we go to the extended, I will do 2 things that are special for the New Year's. One, I'm going to pull a major Arcana card for you for the month of January. How you, Aqua, can assist the collective with shamanic work. I'll explain. And then we'll pull an oracle for you, my love. Okay? Cool. 7 of Cups. Hey, 777. A lot of spiritual introspection this month. Like, a lot. And it's not that you're not active, but I think a lot of ghosts of the past are going to come through to, like, come to you, to, like, talk to you, I'm sorry, and you're going to be like, who do I speak to first? And I'm also seeing an aspect of nostalgia, looking back at the past, possibly on past relationships, lovers, people you've dealt with, how things, okay, how things truly were, how things truly unfolded, the choices that you've made and what it meant about where you were on your journey at that time. There's a sense of inevitable sincerity with oneself. The Ace of Pentacles peaked, but it didn't drop, so we'll see. More for January, for the end of January, for Aquarius, please. The Fool and the Reverse, right on the Hermit and the Two of Swords. Okay. Some of you used adventure as escapism. It was an adventure, it was something that you used to avoid dealing with whatever. It's like there's a new start that you're trying to have, but you can't because you're constantly pulled by your psyche and energy to past situations that you still need to resolve within yourself, either inside of yourself or in reality, you know. Close loose ends or resolve some things, be it with conversation with yourself or conversations with relevant people. But it's like Jupiter doesn't want to get you to leap because it needs first to let go of the baggage, okay? Jupiter doesn't want to leap with a heavy baggage, with heavy burdens, emotional ones, psychological ones, or even guilt, whatever. It wants you to just sit with it, with the 7 of Cups, sit with all of it, sit with the 2 of Swords, with the emotional things that you've held back, that you've suppressed. Really go within. Reflection for self-observation and not for the sake of avoiding the outer world. There's a big difference between meditating in order to go within versus meditating in order to, you know, pull away from the reality. Seemingly the same act, but completely different world. And the Fool here in the reverse is saying, I am not taking a leap of faith until I know we are truly a believer, as opposed to just someone on a suicide mission. You know, when someone jumps off a cliff, they can tell themselves, oh, I believe I'm going to fly, but deep down, maybe they just want to crash and die. You know, so Jupiter is like not going to let you leap until it's certain that you genuinely believe you're going to fly, because then you won't fly. Because if you don't, you won't fly, right? The point is the actual pure, true faith. It's not going to let you keep jumping, because it's asking you, are you truly believing? Are you truly, you know, open to spirit and the divine? Or you're just in pain of this world and you don't know how to deal with the structure and the matrix of it? See, the Fool isn't jumping because he's running away from the world. He's jumping because he's running into the world. To him or her, the world is just part of the ride and part of the adventure, and he's, you know, open arms and open heart. Someone, this could be you or someone you're dealing with, is keeping themselves single, telling themselves it's because they want to explore life and explore the world, but it's actually from greed. They just want to have as many possibilities and options open and available for them. They leave, like, you know, open trails back to people that they deal with, just so they'll have it available. I want to experience the world and life. No, you're just, it's just greed. I don't know who this is in your life. I hope it's not you, but take it or leave it. Ace of Pentacles. Now that it was said and done, it's coming up. You're getting the hold of it, Aqua. Ace of Pentacles. Right towards the end of the reading, you're like, this is an actual strong new beginning. It's not a flaky new beginning. You know, you don't know what's going on. This is a new beginning that comes from a place of you truly knowing yourself, knowing life in relation to yourself, knowing what you want, thus planting a tree where it can grow. Sometimes when we plant a tree in places they can't grow, it's because we're being stubborn, or something within us doesn't really want the tree to grow. Okay, so it's like investing in relationships that are hopeless, giving attention to people who aren't interested, you know, pursuing a job that requires a skill that we just don't have, or not good at, or don't even like. It's just we have the perception that we need to be doing that, you know, whatever. That's the Fool in the reverse. The Ace of Pentacles in the upright, it's like you're starting a new self and a new adventure, relationship, work, connection, investment, whatever, with something that can actually grow. And you're doing it in a way that will allow it to grow. You don't just put the seed in the right place. You nurture it, right? You give it sun, you give it light, you give it water, you give it breeze, attention. Speak to it sometimes. Because it's not enough to know where to plant the seed. Maybe you've planted seed in right places before, but you haven't put in the investment or the energy. You just went all the Fool in the reverse kind of thing. Ten of Wands. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be like, oh, the burden of responsibility now that I'm doing what's right for myself. Don't do that. It's like you can't tell yourself you're doing it right and you're enjoying it. Just enjoy it. It's too much responsibility. I'm doing so much. It's so hard. I feel like this and I feel like that. No, you're enjoying this. You feel great. You're finally prospering. Having all these wands, from the Page of Wands to the Ten of Wands, grow at once. And yet you're tempted to say, oh, it's too much, I don't know how to, no, I can't. It's like people can't accept a compliment. You're so pretty. Who, me? No, I'm not pretty. I don't know. You're so successful. I'm so happy for you. Look at how it worked for you. No, yeah, but it's so much responsibility and I can't sleep. And you're saying, like, who are you saying this to? You think you need to, like, make them not feel bad over you being successful, so you're reducing yourself, or are you doing this to yourself, or are you doing this in front of the mirror? God forbid you'll be happy and successful and abundant and all of the things. Here's a thought. If we want everyone to lead an equal opportunity type of life, and we see ourselves as equal from a place that is humble and grounded and like everyone else, who said that ourselves and everyone else need to be poor and sad? What if ourselves and everyone else, what if we can align ourselves and be the same and equal to people who live abundant life? Who decided socialism has to be poor? What if socialism can be rich? Everybody's rich. Everybody has everything and more. You think you can make that happen by making yourself allegedly poor and sick? Watch Virgo for December. The gift. Better to be a rich healer than a poor empath. I love that one. I think you can relate, or it can help. This is really, really good. Just don't try to twist it in your mind to not being good. Okay, this reading has gone very long. We'll focus on love in your extended, okay? So much going on here. So much. I'm only pulling the group of the 22 major arcanas from my big lecture Rider Waite deck. I'm going to ask for what kind of shamanic spiritual work, what kind of energy can my Aquarius seeker harness for the month of January to help support the collective in this transition, in this pivotal time in history. Shadow and light work for my Aquarian seekers to help support the collective. Okay, you're the third sign getting this card. Capricorn had it, and who else had it? You're having it now. The Tower. And was it Scorpio? Scorpio 2. This is not a premonition. This is not a tarot reading. What I just did is ask for the underlined bunkai, hidden application of the major arcana, the spiritual lesson and the karmic type of energy of the card for you to work with as shamanic work. Okay, it's different. Don't freak out of it. Actually, the Tower card is super powerful. You can gain a lot of power. Don't twitch from the word power. Strength, inner power, energetic power that can help others with it. Okay, sorry for the sirens. The link to the class where I teach about the Tower is below. If you're a Tarot Masterclass Bunkai student of mine, you have it. You already have it for unlimited access, so just check it out. Harness that energy if you wish to for the month of January. Take it, it means do it in your own life, thus affecting the collective, okay? Because we're all one. If you're doing something, others kind of tap into it too, in a way. So, link is below. If you're not one of my students and you wish to partake, great. Go into the link and you can simply rent it or purchase it separately. You don't have to have the entire course, although you are more than welcome to. I'd be happy to have you. I'm really, really proud of my Tarot Masterclass Bunkai. It's not just me teaching tarot or how to be a tarochi, which is, of course, but it's also just a shamanic journey with me. It's like 90 pre-recorded classes. But bottom line, you could just have this one for like $2. So check it out below. Enjoy it and let me know, please, in the comments if you did. And maybe you want to watch Capricorn and Scorpio reading as well, because they also had it at the end. So maybe there's something there that can benefit you. Thank you guys. Now, which oracle should we do for you? It's either the Akashic Tarot or the Enchanted Map that I'm feeling tapped into. Akashic Tarot. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, I just said alright. Don't judge me. Aquarius. For January. Message for Aquarius for January, please. Beautiful Aquarian seekers. Whom I'm always extra tough on, but just because Aquarius, you are so great, and I want you to fulfill that greatness. So that's why I'm like this. And I know I appreciate you. I know you can handle truth. Okay? All right. Message for my Aquarians for January of 2021, please. Oh. Yep. The Karmic Trench. Please watch Karmic Shift and Liberation. It's all for all the signs on tier number 3 on my Patreon, Shifters tier. Or you can have it separately through Vimeo. Okay, link is below. Watch your Karmic placements. Saturn, South Node, North Node, Pluto, 12th house, 8th house, the sign there. Or if you don't know any of them, you can watch your sun sign. It's cool, but the Karmic Trench speaks of repeating karmic cycles. You are going to be tempted and tested to repeat karmic cycles this month, Aqua. And this is your opportunity to break out completely. Don't respond the same way from the same mindset. You can't resolve a problem with the same mindset that has caused that problem. Quote. You got to think differently. If you do, now I know who I'm quoting, Albert Einstein, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result is insanity or a karmic loop. Morgane's edition. I'm going to read you from the book. The Karmic Trench is just working in the trenches. This time it will work. This time it will be different. No, this time it will be the same, only worse. Don't do the same thing. You can be in the same place, but do it differently. You can talk to the same person, but talk to them differently. Sorry, I love you guys. I hope you know that. If I'm being a little bit of an ass, I'm sorry. I shouldn't. I need to chill myself. Noted. Okay, the Karmic Trench. In a field meant to be planted, a man, dirty from his efforts, stands knee-deep inside a long trench. The seeds wait to be planted, yet he continues to dig deeper and deeper. There are other rows plowed and ready for planting, but they are ignored. This card reveals a difficult pattern in your life, a pattern of self-defeating feelings, thoughts, and actions that you've brought forward from previous incarnations. You returned to this life with the intention of breaking this karmic pattern, but you got pulled into the old thoughts and behaviors. You've been digging yourself deeper into a karmic trench that gets harder and harder to escape. This pattern is not unknown to you. You recognize it in your relationships, in your jobs, and certainly in your beliefs, behaviors, and responses. It's time to take charge of your karma by altering the inner ideas, feelings, and patterns that cause you to make sabotaging choices. Every time you notice yourself making an old choice that digs you deeper into your karmic trench, you can change your mind and your actions. This will require your conscious effort every step of the way. Without such work, you could go lifetimes burying yourself in the same feelings. But with your commitment to making changes every day, you can dig yourself out. Boom. I'll see you in a second extended. If you're new, subscribe, press the bell button to receive notifications, comment your thoughts. Hey, welcome to the Existential Shift. Yo, you can join as a member, as a channel member to the Existential Shift by pressing the join button below. It won't give you extra content. You'll just be reciprocating for the 13 hours minimum you're already getting from me here. It's $1.99. And it adds up, and I'm super happy every time someone new joins. And you can bounce out anything. So. Oh, you'll get a badge. And my love. Happy New Year!